There are absolutely situations where we get into a conversation. I'm being not only attacked, being dismissed, and in a lot of ways, just catching the wrath.
Erica's tracking what he's doing. So he's changing the topic. He's saying, well, I'm going to talk to you about Erica's problems and not going to talk to you about my problems. Erica's tracking it. You can see it on her face.
Whatever happened in her day.
She's talking about me being dismissed, not you.
So here's what's happening. I feel like you're defending yourself. But what are you defending yourself?
I mean, in a way, he is defending himself, but if you're going to work with someone like Sean, you have to be so precise and you have to track exactly what he's doing. And exactly what he's doing is he's talking about Erica's flaws instead of his flaws. For Sean to change, Sean would have to be willing to focus his attention for multiple minutes at a time only on what he needs to do to get better, what he could do to be a better partner to Erica. What he constantly does is he focuses his attention, as well as Dr. Orna's attention, on what Erica needs to change, which he's right about. Erica needs to change some things. If Sean only talks about Erica, though, then Sean can never change. And if Erica only talks about Sean, then Erica can never change. And that's why they're stuck.
I'm not defending myself. I'm
not sure what's happening. Do you feel like
That's one of the problems here is that Dr. Orna isn't keeping up with the moves that Sean's making. And so she's not sure what's happening because she didn't catch what he just did.
criticizing you?
No, I don't feel like you're criticizing me, but I'm saying I know why I behave the way I behave. Maybe for Erica, there's a lot more of that she needs to, understand about herself, because I see her anger more than anybody probably.
He just shifted, the topic of conversation is now Erica's anger instead of Sean's behavior.
So for me, I don't know how to address that. I don't know how to.
But I'm hoping to bring couples into less kind of blaming the other person and more kind of looking inward. Oh, what about me made me volunteer to behave in this way? What about me?
So one thing that's going on here is Sean probably isn't fully aware of the moves he's making. So he's not consciously saying, I will now shift the topic of conversation to be about Erica. But it just happens instinctively. And so Dr. Orna is addressing the right issue. The issue is that Sean won't talk about Sean, but she's not being precise about it enough. And if she could show Sean exactly what he did in the moment he was doing it, then Sean might be able to recognize that this is a move he makes. And if she was able to say, over and over and over, point out every time Sean makes this move, she could say, Sean, you're making that move again. Sean might be able to start tracking it and stop doing it.
It's not what about them?
I'm super self-reflective.
So Sean's a person who tries to distort reality with words, and that's what he just did. And so, he's obviously not super self-reflective, but he has a tendency to try to use words to twist reality in a way that's more validating to him, which is exactly what he's doing right.
Look at what I did before I look at what anybody else did.
He doesn't do that.
It does not appear in your speech.
That's because
it's really interesting that Dr. Orna tries to give him the benefit of the doubt here. So she says, it doesn't appear in your speech. It also doesn't appear in his behavior because he doesn't do that. And so, once again, she could be a little more direct and say something like, Sean, I don't think you're right about that. That's not her style. That's kind of the way I work with clients. And there's pluses and minuses to working that way.
Because we're here in a situation with my wife who won't listen to me. And I haven't been able to help Erica past her anger about what I did.
No, we're not talking about you helping.
So that's the third time in about 90 seconds he's made that move of switching the topic over to being Erica. She's going to try to catch him here.
Erica, we're talking about you learning something internally. That's the...
I've processed this internally, but what I'm dealing with in this dynamic that we have...
What have you processed, Sean? What have you processed internally, I guess?
I know why I did what I did, but I'm suffering with the fact that my wife is an angry person.
So the way he just framed this is that he did a bad thing in the past and he's dealt with it. And Erica's doing a bad thing in the present and she needs to deal with it. And so he's the one who's already grown out of his flaws and Erica's the one who still hasn't grown out of her flaws. That's not true at all. And this is such a trap in infidelity because if a person cheats and then stops cheating, it's so easy for that person to say, I've already fixed my problem. Sean has definitely not fixed his problems. Erica hasn't fixed her problems either. But it's really easy for Sean to position himself as I'm not the problem because I stopped cheating, which, I don't even know if he really has stopped cheating, but but maybe he has.
and that I'm typically
Well,
her
she's
punching
also
bag.
mad at you.
She was an angry person before she was mad at me. That's the
Sean,
thing.
I want to be really direct with you. I don't know how to work with that.
Okay.
I can't find you. I find you doing that, and I can't find you. I can't connect with you. I can't find you.
She's so dead on about this. Sean doesn't connect with people. He doesn't connect with Erica, and he doesn't connect with Dr. Orna. Dr. Orna is exceptionally good at connecting with people, and I can imagine that being really frustrating for her.
You're saying, Erica, Erica, Erica. There's nowhere in there that you're telling me something about yourself.
What can
If
I
I-
tell you about myself that has to do with my wife's anger?
You could
He's so good at framing it as if the only thing that matters is Erica's anger, and nothing, there's no world in which Sean's behavior right now, today, is important or damaging or harmful.
say something like, I've had experience where people get mad at me, and I don't really understand why people are so mad at me. I need to understand something about the way I'm doing things that ends up with people being repeatedly mad at me.
I don't have a lot of issues with people being mad at me.
Okay.
It's not a
you
common
told me that
experience.
your ex-wife is not on speaking terms with you,
My ex-wife.
and you have a current wife, and there's plenty of love between the two of you,
Mhm.
and she's mad at you.
Mhm.
So there's something there that you might want to look at in yourself.
I don't really need a lot of insight in why Sean is the way Sean is.
The way Sean thinks about the world is that if someone else is angry at him, then that's completely because of a flaw in the other person. And that he doesn't see himself as the kind of person who does things that would make a normal person angry. And that's been true the entire series.
I understand myself very, very well.
So how can I be of help?
To you.
There's a fundamental problem here where Dr. Orna's letting Sean hold the position that he is the authority on what goes on inside Sean. Realistically, Sean doesn't see himself clearly at all. And, he's going to have to let go of this position that he knows everything about himself and that he sees himself clearly if he's going to grow. It's a really hard thing to get someone like Sean to let go of that, to allow the idea that maybe I don't see myself as clearly as these other two people in the room see me. Which is true. Like Sean's self-perception is pretty inaccurate, and Dr. Orna and Erica both see him pretty accurately.
She's asking to you, sir.
Okay. And for her to be a help to me, it would be for you to better understand your anger, why you're still so angry with
There's that move again.
me. And
I'm going to stop you guys.
He went on a long bike ride for his birthday. That was one of his birthday gifts to himself. And I felt myself thinking, where is he at? Did he stop off somewhere? Is he meeting up with someone else? But stuff like that just, for some reason, I know you're like rolling your eyes, I'm
I'm
sure.
not rolling my eyes. I'm listening because I understand what triggers it. And
I'm not sure whether he rolled his eyes or not, but she is accurately tracking the way he's relating to what she's saying. He's thinking of her in a disrespectful way in his mind, right?
get that I earned this treatment with my past behavior, but I'm like, Red, my location settings are on. If you want to check my fitness track.
Before we talk about possible solutions, you were saying I recognize why you'd feel this way.
I get it. I earned this scrutiny. And if it's going to take me 6 months, 6 years, 6 lifetimes to prove to you that I'm trustworthy,
He's making it seem like she's unreasonable here. Erica's focus isn't necessarily on the right things here. Whether or not Sean cheats on her again is probably not the biggest challenge they have in this relationship. And it's not the most important thing for Erica to focus on. It'd be better for Erica to focus on how much Sean cares about her, how courageous Sean is in revealing himself to her, and how devoted Sean is to her as a whole, not just in whether he's devoted enough to her to not cheat. So, you have a relationship with infidelity and say this is the level of relationship that has infidelity in it, and then here's the level of relationship without infidelity, which, say they're there right now. But the relationship that they want, or at least, well, the relationship I think they want is actually way up here. It's a pretty low bar to have a relationship with no cheating in it. And you can have a relationship with no cheating and have it still not be a very good relationship. And so if they want to improve things between them, especially here, Erica needs to let go of the idea that the important thing is for Sean not to cheat. Okay? If Sean learns to care about her a lot more than he has in the past, then he would obviously not cheat on her, because you don't cheat on someone you care about a lot. And that's really the bigger issue here.
I will continue to hold myself accountable, but I don't want to keep talking about it because it hurts.
Say something about how it hurts.
I hurt my wife thinking that I had a pass. And it almost cost me my family. So it's a painful topic to talk about. And we keep going back to it. And it's like, you're trying to put a dagger back in my chest? You're trying to put me on edge about it again?
He's framing her as the bad person here. So he's the good one, she's the bad one. For this to move forward, they're going to have to focus on the present. Sean's incapable of admitting that he's doing things right now in his marriage that are hard for Erica to handle. And Dr. Orna hasn't helped them let go of this framing where the only bad thing that Sean's ever done is in the past, because Sean keeps reinforcing that idea and no one's challenging it. Well, okay, Erica tries to challenge it, but this is really the therapist's job.
But how much do you want to about something you did?
I mean, Sean has a point here. So Erica, by bringing things up and by, I'm not sure how she treats him, but I'm sure she's kind of mean to him sometimes. That is something that she should look at. If Erica was confident that Sean had changed, if she could look over at Sean and it was just obvious that he cares about her so much more than he used to, then she wouldn't worry about him cheating. And the fact that she worries about him cheating is a reflection of her accurate map of him, that he hasn't drastically changed how much he cares about her. So even if he never cheats again, if he still doesn't address his lack of caring, his lack of concern for her, his lack of investment, then that's going to be a limit on how good the relationship can be. On Erica's half, part of her caring about Sean is learning how to talk to him about the biggest problem in the relationship and focus her attention on what actually matters. Her mind is going to want to pull her over and over again back into the past, and he can't change the past, but he can change the present.
Again, it's a wound that I caused you.
Right, so I have a wound. So how are you bleeding?
Sean is bleeding and Erica is bleeding. And so Sean hurt Erica and Erica also hurts Sean. And that's normal. That's how marriage is. She's trying to kind of make it seem like it could be only one or the other. Both of them are trying to take a victim stance here.
When the topic comes up.
Because every time you want to bring this subject up, it's like you're trying to cut me again and make it about, I have not satisfied your itch.
And one issue here is that if Erica brings it up and frames it as a problem in the past, Sean can't change the past. And then, she might have some idea that there's something he could say to make things better, but that's not true. It's so important to bring the topic of conversation to be, Sean, I want to talk to you about how much you care about me right now. And this is the evidence I see of you not caring about me as much as I want you to care about me. It's even more important for Erica to look at how much she cares about Sean and how she relates to him, how she treats him.
Meaning it brings up feelings of inadequacy in you?
Yeah, it's like, what
Is that
what do
what
I
you're
need to
saying?
do? Like, what do I need to
But you're
do?
getting away from feelings. It would be helpful to know it in words
It's
of feelings.
it's a sinking, shitty feeling. It's like, oh, let's
Of
talk about how I hurt you
inadequacy?
again. How I'm shitty. How I did this
Makes
shitty
you feel
thing.
bad about yourself.
Like, I had no intentions of hurting you, but
It's pretty important to not let him get away with this idea that he had no intentions of hurting her. He absolutely knew that the things he did when he was cheating on Erica were harmful to Erica, and he knew it would hurt her. And so it wasn't accidental behavior. In relationships, people usually hurt each other on purpose, not accidentally, and it's really important to bring the behavior out of the realm of accidental behavior into intentional behavior, which is more accurate. And so I would probably challenge him on this.
it caused you this great pain, and now I gotta
Sean,
relive it.
Sean, it's kind of circling around, but I think what you're trying to say to Erica and to me, that it makes you feel bad about yourself.
Absolutely.
That's helpful to know. Using the words to describe the actual feeling.
Me and feelings aren't something that are easy to discuss.
Right, but I don't know if you're noticing when you talk about your actual feelings, it's really helpful.
Yeah. Nobody remembers you for your work. My mom was a partner at the law firm. I could walk into that office right now, and even though my last name is on the wall and there's a plaque of my mom up there, I could walk in and nobody would know who I am. Knowing that my
Can
children.
I say something?
Mhm.
Sean, in addition to these thoughts about what's important in life, I think what you're also telling Erica is that you are full of sorrow from what happened, from the remains of how your mom lived. How are you listening to that?
Well, it makes me upset for him. But on the flip side, I don't know how to.
And the problem with trying to address this on a feelings level is that Sean is telling the story as a way to criticize Erica. And so Sean has a view, which is reasonable, that Erica works too much. He wants her to work less. That's reasonable. It makes sense that Erica would feel defensive when Sean uses a story about his mom to kind of put pressure on Erica to change the way she addresses work. I wouldn't want to address this on a basis of feelings. I would want to, point out that Sean is aware of the impact he's having on Erica. I would encourage Sean just to frame it in terms of what he wants. So if Sean wants Erica to work less, he could say, Erica, I want you to work less. He could talk a little bit about the impact it has on him, but in the end, it's Erica's choice, not his. And I would love to see Sean approach Erica in a way that says, the way you devote yourself to work has an impact on me, and I want you to change that. And I want you to devote more attention to the family, realizing that it's her choice, not his, and also realizing that he's going to be okay, if she doesn't. And so when he brings it into this framing of like, my mom abandoned me for work, you're abandoning me for work, that is painful for him. And Erica isn't responsible for Sean's feelings. Sean is. Erica's responsible for her behavior. And her behavior around work is her choice, just like Sean's behavior around infidelity is his choice.
Qualify, I guess, personal success. With work, it's easy. It's on a piece of paper. It's on a paycheck. I just don't know how to attach it to the family dynamic, I guess.
There's something interesting that happens psychologically with people. People tend to repeat their histories, right? You live it as a child, and then you have your life as an adult, and you unconsciously set out to repeat. And Sean, it might be that your expectation was always that you're going to find yourself again in a similar situation where your wife is going to get busy. Maybe you even chose someone who is prone to go in that direction and, in a way, repeat the same thing you had with your mom. But it also could be that with that expectation, you took over all the domestic, paternal responsibilities, unconsciously kind of already setting the stage for that to happen. You might need to kind of take an angle against just repetition and try to break the cycle. Both of you.
What Sean could do about this is he could look at the impact he has on Erica here. So when he puts pressure on Erica to cut down her work hours, the way he's doing it actually makes it a little bit harder for Erica to do it. And so the dynamic here is that if Sean were to approach Erica in a respectful way, making it clear that it's her choice, not his, and making it clear that he's going to be okay regardless of what she chooses, that's the most effective way for him to get her to change her work hours. The way he's doing it is trying to make her feel bad for what she's doing, which then it makes her feel like she's being controlled, because it is controlling. And it just makes it a little bit harder for Erica to change. I'm honestly in favor of Erica, maybe having a healthier work-life balance. It's just that the way Sean's approaching it is making it less likely that he's going to get what he wants.
We actually had a conversation it's kind of light about, his employment and how he feels about that. But it was a very, extremely vulnerable conversation.
Vulnerable on both your sides?
More so on Sean's. He was basically saying, these opportunities are not coming as I assumed they would be. He admitted that to me.
And what's changed?
We have a lot more patience in our communication. And she's being honest about her underlying issues. And it's the same thing with me. I recognize a lot of the things that Erica triggers that are left over from my mom or left over from my first marriage. Just things that I intentionally guard myself against because of my previous experiences in life.
What would you say, Erica? Are you noticing change?
Yeah, I feel like it's been a lot better. I think I'm being a lot more thoughtful in my use of language. I think when you told me that I was speaking to him in like a punishment or to influence, I just thought I was just mad. And so in kind of understanding that it's not also about me being mad, it's some other resentments. So we talked about those resentments, and it's definitely a real dialogue that's being conducted.
That's great. Going back to language, I heard Sean saying something that I resonate with in our earlier sessions, that you were talking in a way that I guess you were not using language to speak from really a deep place inside you.
Can I say something about that, Sean? So he was talking to his son, his oldest son, and his son called him and said, "Hey, Dad, what do you want for your birthday?" And I guess they had been on the phone for like 2 hours. And he sent me this text and he said, "Is it so bad? I just want to say that I just wanted to be on the phone with you for the 2 hours." I was like, that's nice. And he didn't say that though. I said, you should have told him that. As far as a person tapping into something, that's like huge for him.
I love this interaction between Sean and Erica because it shows how much more warmth and caring there is between them than there was at the beginning. They both talked about their own growth instead of pointing fingers at each other. And the interaction where Erica said, Sean, you should have told your son what you wanted and revealed yourself to him. She's dead on. And I can imagine Sean learning how to do that in the future. This was part 2 of Sean and Erica. I'll leave a link to part 1 in the description, as well as a link to the original video on YouTube and where you can find the show on Paramount. And I appreciate you all for watching. Thank you.